We live in an age of endless distractions where our thoughts race like wild horses and our peace is constantly under siege. 2500 years ago, a young man faced this same struggle in its most essential form. Not against social media or modern stressors, but against the fundamental nature of the untamed mind itself. His story, preserved in Buddhist teachings, reveals a truth so profound, yet so simple. Everything changes when we master our mind. In the bustling city of Savatthi, the son of a wealthy banker made a decision that shocked his family. He renounced his luxurious life to become a bhikkhu in the Buddha's order. Full of idealism, he approached his new spiritual journey with the same intensity he might have brought to managing his father's accounts. He studied the Abhidhamma, the philosophical teachings, under one teacher and the Vinaya, monastic discipline, under another. But where he expected enlightenment, he found only overwhelm. There are too many rules, he complained to himself. Too many teachings to memorize. How can anyone achieve peace when burdened by so many requirements? Day by day, his initial enthusiasm turned to frustration. He stopped meditating regularly. He neglected his duties. His body grew thin, his face drawn, not from ascetic practice, but from the inner turmoil of a mind at war with itself. When news of the young monk's distress reached the Buddha, he called him aside. The other monk watched curiously. What wisdom would the enlightened one offer this struggling disciple? Bhikkhu, the Buddha said gently, I hear you find our teachings burdensome. The young monk nodded miserably. Venerable sir, there is so much to learn, so many rules to follow. I feel crushed by it all. The Buddha's eyes held infinite compassion. As he spoke words that would echo through centuries. If you can only control your mind, you will have nothing more to control. So guard your mind. He continued with a verse that would later become one of Buddhism's most famous teachings. The mind is difficult to see, very delicate and subtle. It moves and lands wherever it pleases. The wise one should guard his mind, for a guarded mind brings happiness. At first glance, the Buddha's words might seem obvious. But their depth reveals itself upon reflection. All suffering begins in the mind. The young monk wasn't suffering from the rules themselves, but from his mental resistance to them. Discipline is meaningless without mindfulness. You can follow every Vinaya rule perfectly, but if your mind is wild, you'll find no peace. Freedom comes from inner mastery, not outer control. The Buddha wasn't dismissing the importance of teachings. He was pointing to what makes them possible to follow. Imagine the mind as a mischievous monkey, jumping from thought to thought, emotion to emotion, rarely at rest. Left unchecked, it turns small inconveniences into major crises, makes past regrets and future worries feel more real than the present, convinces us we are helpless when we are actually just distracted. But when guarded, when mastered, that same mind becomes a sanctuary of peace amidst chaos, a razor-sharp tool for discernment, the source of unshakable contentment. While few of us will become Buddhist monk, we all face versions of the young bhikkhu's struggle, the executive overwhelmed by responsibilities, the student paralyzed by perfectionism, the parent stretched thin by endless demands. In each case, the solution isn't just better time management, or simpler routines. It's mental mastery. When stressed, ask, is my suffering coming from the situation or from my thoughts about the situation? Just as a gardener weeds a plot, learn to gently remove unhelpful thoughts. Each evening, reflect, what mental habits served me today? Which didn't? Here's the beautiful secret the young monk discovered. The more we try to control external factors for happiness, the more overwhelmed we feel. But when we master our mind, suddenly the rules of life, work, relationships stop feeling like burdens. They become natural expressions of our inner peace. The banker's son eventually became an exemplary monk, not by memorizing more texts, but by applying this one teaching. His story invites us to ask, how much of our stress comes from life itself and how much from our uncontrolled reactions to it? What might change if we invested half the energy we spend managing circumstances into mastering our minds instead? The Buddha's answer whispers across millennia. Everything. For when the mind is at peace, the world is at peace. And that transformation begins with a single, profound shift. From seeking control outside to cultivating wisdom within. If this video inspired you, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more motivation, and share it with someone who needs a boost today. Until next time, stay motivated, stay inspired, and keep shining. See you in the next video. Shubham Bhavtu.